is Brian Alexander, and I am Milobar mayor. And I'm not against big corporations so much. We all need jobs. We all need but some of the things that I've noticed in the past, the last 10 years being a regulatory practice in the United States, is that something strikes me rather odd. The government seems to be always on the side of corporations. Now, government works for people. It was set up for the people. They're public service trustees entrusted with our safety and well-being. And for them to ignore the people and to be on the backside or on the side of the corporation is prima facie evidence, dictates, and shows, proves that the government has been suffocated by that money, by that the taxes, the royalties, whatever the contributions to political campaigns. And those are breaches of trust. And we have a criminal code, we have a Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and we have a Constitution. Now, none of these things seem to matter. And you wonder why people around the world are walking on Wall Street and occupying Kamloops. Because if this continues, we have no other choice but to do what we have no choice but to do, and that's to stand up and say that's enough. Thanks very much.
I've neglected to do my fingers. The candidates have been given questions which they were to answer. Now, obviously, the response doesn't have to be
The first question was, what is your position on Ajax KGHM? That's the first question. Second question is, do you support a federal panel review for the city of Kamloops? The third question we were asked was, what regulatory powers available to the city of Kamloops would you test for regarding controlling noise, dust, and light pollution from the mine, given that 60% of the mine will be located within the city limits? So those were the three questions that we were testing. And you wanted to answer each in 2 minutes? Give or take? Just ask me, but you wanted to cover most of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly address your comments to the issue. So, next we have Peter.
Thank you. This obviously blows my presentation out of the water because I came prepared with just understatements, but I'll gladly answer these questions here. My position on Ajax KGHM is that there are too many unanswered questions, and I just cannot comfortably support something that could possibly have incredible harm at so many different levels to our community. I think that we need to go, and this would answer the next one, I think we definitely need to be going for the federal panel review to ensure that all the necessary questions are answered before we give any level of support to this. And I could go on about other reasons why I wouldn't want to support this to begin with. However, with regard to the regulatory powers available to the city of Kamloops, I would press for anything within our powers to ensure that KGHM, if they become citizens of Kamloops, would have to abide by as much as any other citizen in this community. Thank you.
Peter Milobar.
Thank you. And my name is Peter Milobar. I'm mayor of Kamloops and also the chair of the Kamloops Regional District currently. And I guess first off, my position on the mine is I'm like many people in the community. I go back and forth. I have serious concerns around it as well. I've stated
that we go into dirty industries, we're going to take away and reduce our income and revenue from our clean industry, and that other clean industries won't be coming to Kamloops. Do you think this wrong to that, and have you considered that? Sorry, I didn't yell it.
No. Yes, I consider that, because, the tone of a lot of the questions that we seem to get it's almost like the impression is that we as the city council went out and phoned up a Polish mining company and said, boy, do we have an opportunity for you in Kamloops. Why don't you come set up shop here? That's not what happened. And so this mine, with the cost of production and low grade that it has, was not economically viable until, as we heard, the price of copper and gold and everything shot through the roof. In terms of, to your question, I totally agree. But if we're expected as an organization of government, when we provide a comment back, we're expected, if it's to carry any weight with the panel or with the working group, to have it backed up with a lot of facts, with a lot of information. We're not given the same benefit as you people would be as citizens just walking in and saying your same comment to that panel. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that level of answer out of the mining company so we can have a definitive statement saying the North Waste Rock Management Facility, with the way that the wind modeling is not acceptable. This mine, if it's to go ahead, has to have it on the southern border, which my understanding is you don't control all that land. It's probably why they don't want it on the southern border. We have to attach logic and reason as a governmental agency behind that. And that's strictly what we're trying to do, is gather that information. Because it's not us going out as an economic development agency saying, develop this pit. It's a mineral and an ore body that's sitting there that people have the mineral rights to, and we're trying to figure out how to best come up with proper comments to that. We don't even know what the road numbers are going to be using. So how can we say we don't support this because it's going to beat up our road network too much if they turn around and loop around and do send in to the Coquihalla Highway? We would look pretty foolish if we're a government agency, and we don't want them to beat up our city roads, and they're not even using city roads. So we need to get that level of information so we can make a very strong comment to whichever body we use. I don't know if that answers your question well enough or not.
Well, you need more information. I'm not sure why there's such a split vote in the city council to get the independent review.
Because if you go online and listen to the entire, what we've all said, we need to do a great job, but they're trying to encapsulate a half-hour conversation into about 6 paragraphs and attach sentences to each of us on what we said at that meeting. But if you listen to the whole, what we were told, what we've been told by our staff, and Jen Kretz is a trained, highly educated environmental engineer, and she's saying right now, her advice to us, as our state employees, all of the taxpayers, is the process right now is getting good information to her to provide us for our comments. And so she's fearful, and we have no guarantee, just as there's no guarantee the federal panel review will be granted. If they do grant that, there is no guarantee that the province will let the working group keep going. And I know people say, well, why wouldn't they? Well, if the federal review is flat and standard, why have something that's substandard still going on at the same time, finding out all of that statute? So there's no guarantee that will actually still function if the federal government